Alright, let's get this thing going, right? Hello everybody, welcome back to another edition of Ben's Corner, and first and foremost, something I wanted to get out there first and foremost is to thank you all to the recent success of this channel. I've seen about double the amount of views lately. I've had a couple of new subscribers. I'm heading on my way to 60 as opposed to 50, so that all happened within this last week or two. And I'm not a huge channel, so any increase in subscribers and viewership is all good news to me. So I just want to give a special thank you to all of you for the views, the comments, the likes, even the dislikes, the subscriptions, and want to give a special shout out to Dakota, who's been a longtime fan, longtime commenter, big, huge fan of this team. Rapid Fire Gaming, Chip Masters, and Beta Bros. Thank you all. Also, I think it's Eduardo. Eduardo, I think I've seen some of your comments on my earlier videos. Looks like he's binge watching the series and getting up to speed before he gets too far ahead of himself on the series. So I said thank you in the previous game, but that was at the end of the video, and I know people don't stay tuned for that all the time, and I understand that. That's fine. But I wanted to say that thank you up front so that, as soon as you tune into this video, you get that. This is one of those, what I call a house cleaning episode, where I do the behind the scenes things like training, scouting, and a little dive into the team that we're coming up against. We played this Huskies team once already this season earlier on. I think it was week 4. Let's go ahead and check that out. And team schedule, was it week? Well, it wasn't week 4. I know they're here somewhere. Where are they? Wow, I was wrong. It was week 10, and you see we won by a touchdown over them last time, so they're going to be looking to avenge that loss. They're 6-7 on the season. They dropped a game, just like the Explorers did to us. So the division is now ours completely. We're 10-3. We've clinched a playoff spot, so we are headed to the playoffs. It's just a matter of seeding now, which bracket we're going to be in. The only other team with a better record in the entire game of football right now are the Conquistadors, who we play in week 17. So maybe that could be a very pivotal game for us if they win out as well as we do. I want to try to do something a little different this week because I have an interview video with Coach Shaq Hennessey. He stopped by the office to speak with Ben, and I want to play that. But while I play that, I also want to have something going on here in the background other than just looking at Coach Shaq Hennessey. So what I want to try to do is do some team practice and get some action on the field. You can see how well I do on the sticks, which I'll admit is not good. But just to give something creative to look at here while the video plays and not just have some dead air. And then, depending on how long that takes, the video is about 6 minutes, we might go ahead and take a quick look at the Huskies. So thanks again. I'm going to try this. Bear with me because I am not perfect at this by any stretch of the imagination. I strive for excellence and often fail at it. We're going to go ahead and do a normal practice. And I'll get this set up before I start the video. I'll turn the mic off so that you don't hear me. You just hear what's going on the field and the video, hopefully. And last time I remember, the video did not play all that loudly. I did try this once before, and it didn't go so well. I had upgraded players. I had a lot of player upgrades to do. Unfortunately, you didn't get to see them because I recorded this, thought I had everything, and then the audio crapped out on me. And it was a no good file. So, unfortunately, you didn't get to see that. So let's go ahead and get things going here. Just take care and make sure my volume meters are all up the way I want them to be. I want that video playing a little bit louder for us so we can hear that. Sorry. Bear with me. It's coming. I promise. I just got to get through my menus here. Alright, let's Get that going. Okay, everything should be set up well. So here we go. We're going to hear from the coach's mouth himself with his interview with Ben Vanu. So here we go. Everybody, welcome back to another amazing episode of Ben Vanu's Corner. Here in the studio today, I'm going to have none other than the head coach of the Orlando Sentinels, your very own Coach Shaq Hennessey. Coach, welcome to the show, and congratulations on your season and last week's win.
Well, thank you, Ben, and thanks for having me.
About that win in Columbus, it certainly was a close one.
You're right about that. The Explorers always play us tough, and though their new coach is a rookie, you can tell that team will be in good hands going forward. They were hungry for that win, but our guys never gave up and battled hard to pull out the victory.
Keeper Byrne was on the show last week, and he had a lot of good things to say about you.
Just like I told him to. Seriously, he's a great kid, and I think very highly of Keeper.
He had a bit of a rough game after two very strong ones the previous weeks. Has he fallen back into bad habits?
Oh, I don't think that's the case. If you look at his numbers, he completed 70% of his passes, and he didn't turn the ball over. Although he was sacked a few times, I don't think they were the kind that we've seen in the past. You know, he has a habit sometimes where he always wants to be a hero on every play. He stands in the pocket too long, trying to make something happen downfield. That wasn't the case here, or for the last few games. No, what you saw there was a tenacious pass rush, combined with a very talented secondary from the Explorers.
We can't speak of this game without mentioning the play of LaMarcus Blades, starting free safety for the Sentinels.
Absolutely not. He's been a bit of an unsung hero to the NFL, for us. Flies under the radar a bit. But our fans certainly know he's not really a secret. He's been doing this since his rookie season in 2031. An incredible talent and a steal in the third round. He is a Pro Bowl player, even though he hasn't played in one. Yet. This might be his year, if I have anything to say about it. He set the tone early, with that pick six early to start the game. And then the other pick late in the game was a very big momentum changer. Changed the outcome of the game for us.
Rather fortunate because Dalton Triplett had a rare off game, a game where he did not meet the 100-yard threshold, even though he's had numerous ones this season, and once again clipped the 1,000-yard rushing mark.
He did, but the Explorers always give our ground game problems. Dalton still powered one into the end zone for us, and it turned out to be a huge score.
Most certainly. I've noticed that if one part of the team struggles, another part seems to step up. Is that by design, or just a happy accident?
I'd rather be lucky than good, huh? I'd say it is part good fortune, but I would also like to think that I have a little something to do with it. This is what a team does. When you build it properly, everyone is on the same page and understands the direction we're going in. Give a massive amount of credit to our players, though. Without them working together on the field, none of this happens.
The fans certainly are. One player in particular most recently is the rookie tight end Mark Spellman. A lot of fans are talking about him on the message boards, calling into the shows, saying what a gifted, talented player he is. What can you tell us about him, Coach?
He's big, he's fast, and he's only going to get better. I knew early on when I saw his tape that we needed him, and I told my front office that much. I thought he would drop out of the first round as a wide receiver because he doesn't have Dalton Triplett or Chris Bradley type of speed at wide receiver. But as a tight end, he is a nightmare for defenses. If he hadn't missed a few games, I think he'd have a 1,000-yard season. And he's just getting started. No knock on him, but he doesn't have what you call natural hands. In college and in high school, he never really needed them. He was always the biggest, always the strongest, and always the fastest player on the field. And he could get away with body catching the ball. That won't work here, as he's finding out, at least not all the time. Those physical gifts will get you so far, but if you don't have the technique to go with it, you're gonna be a flash in the pan. And so it's my job to get him coached up, to give him that technique, and to have him work on catching drills a lot. With the way the NFL is these days, you have to have a weapon like this. Expect huge things for him in the future.
An in-depth scouting report from the coach. I know I could talk to you all day about this team, but you have a few things to do, right?
Yeah, I just got back in from Columbus, so I'm kinda tired and I need to grab some rest. And then I gotta get our guys back into the Factory of Gladness to prepare to take on yet another tough division rival.
That's right. The Toronto Huskies are coming to town and looking to settle the score from your previous meeting this year.
They won't take it easy on us.
All right, Coach, I'm going to let you get going. Thanks for your time.
No problem. Anytime, Ben. Thanks again for having me.
All right, that's going to do it for this episode of Ben's Corner. Coach Shaq Hennessey dropping dimes of knowledge about the team and what we can expect in the future. Max Good and that high-powered offense comes to town looking to put points on the board and get the victory in Orlando. Last time these two teams met, it was back in Toronto, and the Orlando Sentinels pulled out a touchdown victory in typical Sentinels fashion at the last minute. So you never know what's going to happen when this team meets another one on the field, but it's been coming up roses as the team is now 10-3 and looking to get back into the playoffs and perhaps get their first playoff victory in Orlando Sentinels history with Coach Shaq Hennessey at the helm. Take care, everybody. We'll see you next time on Ben's Corner. All right, and there you heard it from the coach himself. What's coming up for Mark Spellman? He's got a bright future, according to the coach. Looking forward to that upcoming matchup with the Huskies. They know what they're in for. Max Good is the starting quarterback, one of the best in the game. We'll go ahead and take a look at him real quick. Definitely a fantastic player. We've seen this team before, so we know what we're in for. So there he is, Max Good. You can see his numbers there. He's a 90 overall superstar with good speed, so he scrambles out of the pocket a lot, and that gives us some trouble. Excellent awareness, good throwing power, great short and medium accuracy. Deep accuracy, not quite as good, but great on the throw, on the run, under pressure, can break sacks. He is a nightmare for opposing defenses, so the pass rush for the Sentinels that has come alive lately will be definitely under duress, trying to get to this quarterback and breaking him down. He's got some help in the backfield from Dion Averill, the number 2 running back in the league behind Dalton Triplett. He's got a little bit of speed on him, but what really matters against this defense is his strength and his break tackling ability, which these bruising running backs always give our smallish type defense built on speed a little bit of trouble, and that's why Coach Shaq Hennessey has moved to a 4-3 to try to get a little bit more beef up front and some weight and strength up there to try to bring these kind of backs down and prevent those big runs from happening. And we've seen it in the last couple of games. They have sort of contained the run game at the expense of the passing defense. Their blocking fullback is a good one. It's the longtime veteran Andy Garrison, who has 91 lead blocking, which could have an impact in this game. Their wide receiving crew is not the fastest in the world, but they have great hands. They catch the ball in traffic, and they have good spec catch. So not only that, they have good size, with Sean Townsend standing at 6'2". Lindell Stokes is a speed option they brought in this year. He's having a good rookie season. Isaiah Williams is their leading receiver, and he's like a clone of Perry Wood at 6'4" and 233. Good catching. Cameron Silvers at 6'5", Corey Jones at 6'5", and Rafael Santos at 6'5". So they have some towers at the wide receiver position. And it doesn't stop there. Gil Newman, although he does not look like it, is a receiving weapon on this team. They use him a lot, and he is also a very good blocking tight end. So a dual threat here, even though he doesn't look like it on paper. We've seen in the previous games, they go to him a lot. Wesley Young and Kirkland Sands are the blocking tight ends. Their offensive line is not a strong suit. Riley Ryan at 76 overall, backed up by Joey Bellamy with a 75 overall. And if there's a weakness on this team on the offense, it's probably here. The left guard, Tim Brock, a 76 overall, backed up by Brandon Kiernan. And Chad Cousins. At center, Riley Stockton, a 78 overall. And Nathan Batch, a 57 overall. Right guard, their best offensive lineman, Daryl Andrews, backed up by Lindsey Ball. And the right tackle, I'm sorry, it's still the veteran Roy Reed. He's still not regressed enough. He still holds that number one position, a very strong run-blocking tight end, or run-blocking right tackle. Followed up by Sam Irons. On the defense, it's Jadarius Shaw, and he is a nightmare for us. He is usually getting in the backfield and making the day bad for Kiefer Burns, so we'll have to keep an eye on him. He's got excellent block shedding and tackling. Even though he's not really a pass rusher, he manages to get to the quarterback. At the right side, it's Antonio Randall and Princeton Boast, and they rotate these two guys out. Boast was making a lot of plays against us the last time these two teams met. At defensive tackle, probably the weakest spot on the defense for them. So up front, we might be able to get some plays up the middle with Dalton Triplett, with Tracy Gunter, Dudley Brent, and Joseph Weatherspoon. Left outside linebacker, Deion Carmen and Lawrence Conrad. In the middle, Dean Sanborn, one of the best in the game. He was in a fight with London Bates last year for most tackles in the league, Defensive Player of the Year, and Linebacker of the Year awards. He's backed up by Timothy Charlson and Nick Molinaro. On the right outside linebacker, we know this guy, Lincoln Calvin, perhaps their best player on defense. He is a zone hawk pass coverage linebacker with 91 zone coverage and 91 tackling, 91 awareness. He is a playmaker, and they also have Trey Miller as his backup. At the cornerback position, not a lot of speed here until you get to the slot, but Demarius Royal is their number one. Richie Kendricks, the number two. Excellent zone defense on Richie. Alexander Red is their return specialist and their slot corner, and he makes a lot of plays for them. Has great tackling ability for corner. And then you have Kyle Fine, who makes plays on special teams, and Leonard Nielsen. At the free safety position, they have a guy that plays like a strong safety, and Sean Chandler, the 32-year-old veteran superstar, slowing down in his older years, but still a very effective player with the press coverage, his high tackling. He just plays like they use him as a strong safety in this defense because perhaps their fastest defensive player is their strong safety, Travis Stamper, with 96 speed and 87 man coverage. He's backed up by Frederick Troutman and Otis Pierce. Their kicker, another weak spot for them, is Bobby Oliver with an 88 kick power, 74 kick accuracy. So the special teams game might be in trouble this week. And their punter is Jeff Cummins, who has a decent leg. So that's how that team stacks up. They have some clear strengths for sure. They are an offensive juggernaut. We'll get into that a little bit more in the game. I like to hold some of those stats and rankings for game material so that you can get an idea of what our opponents look like as they match up against our team. So that's going to do it for this episode. I want to thank you again for joining me, staying tuned to the Sentinel season, the success they're having. They're having another great year, 10 wins on the season already. That matches their total from last year. They're already in the playoffs. They had to squeak into the wild card last year, so there's no drama there. We know we're heading to postseason, and that means we'll get to see Chris Bradley return to the field. Let's take a look at injuries real quick. It's Chris Bradley. He pulled his hamstring on a sideline catch he made where he turned upfield, got hit hard out of bounds, and came up lame. And he's going to miss another 2 weeks, so he's going to miss the next 2 regular season games, unfortunately. But we'll have him back for the postseason, and his speed might make a difference. I don't think the Huskies have anyone hurt. Let me check that real quick before I forget. I think the Huskies are perfectly healthy. Yes, they are. They have no injuries, so they are at full strength. So what's going to happen? We're going to have to stay tuned. I'll have that episode. I think I'm going to shoot for Thursday. I want to try to, or maybe Friday. I'm trying to shoot for a day where I don't have to compete with the NFL. Sunday I released the previous game, and I know a lot of people are watching football all day long, and they're not going to turn my game on when the real thing is out there to be witnessed. So I just want to try to get into a more consistent schedule. Maybe every Tuesday I'll have the house cleaning episode and try to make it briefer, and then the game maybe on Thursday or Friday, and that way it has some time to sit out there over the weekend before the NFL games start and college games start and Thursday night football and Monday night football. So trying to find that window so that it's more convenient for everybody to catch it if they want to. So again, thanks everybody. I appreciate the subs. Leave a like, a dislike, and if you do leave a dislike, let me know what it was about what I've got here that you didn't like. Is it my presentation? Is it the graphics? Is it my voice? Is it just let me know so I can improve. I mean, I don't mind that you don't like what's here. I just would like to know why you don't like it, because it could be something I could correct very simply, or it could be something that's out of my control. Like if it's the graphics, I gotta wait until I get a new computer, and if you want to help me solve that problem, you can send me a brand new computer and I'll be perfectly happy to accept it from you. That's about the only way that's going to get fixed until I can get some funds together to replace the equipment I have. That is in the works. It's just not going to happen anytime soon because there's other things in life I have to take care of. You know, life has a way of doing that to you. So thanks again, everybody. Another shout out again, Dakota, Rapid Fire Gaming, Beta Bros, and Chipmasters, and Eduardo. Thank you all. We'll see you again here real soon on Benvenue's Corner, where the Orlando Sentinels will be taking on the Toronto Huskies as they come into Orlando. You hear about those cold weather games. How will these Huskies hold up in the hot, humid weather of Orlando, Florida? Stay tuned to find out. Thanks again, everybody. We'll see you next time.